What's up guys, my name is Ace, and a bunch of future game modes for Warzone have been leaked, and I wanted to go over them today, just share what we know about them so far, as well as my thoughts on each of those. And these leaks were all data mined, so they are actually in the code itself for the game, and I will leave a link to the source down below. This is all coming from the Modern Warzone subreddit. So let's just hop right into this. The first thing is, it looks like we will be seeing a classic Battle Royale mode coming to Warzone at some point. Keep in mind, with all of the modes I'm talking about today, they will likely be just featured modes, so they'll be around for a week or two at a time, and that's about it. But this is something I've been thinking about since Warzone launched, is it would be really cool to see how this plays as a classic Battle Royale. And with this, it says there will be no cash, no contracts, no Gulag, no loadouts, and no respawns. So it's more of that traditional Battle Royale sort of feel. And I think this mode would actually be pretty popular for a lot of people. There's a lot of people that just hate the idea of loadouts within a Battle Royale game. I personally like the loadouts because I feel like it takes a lot of randomness out of that. But I understand where people are coming from. The only thing I would hope for if they have this mode is a little bit of a better loot pool on the ground. So some better variety in weapons and things that you can find on the ground. I think that would be great, and it looks like that's coming at some point in the future. As for the next one, this one is called Mo Gulag, Mo Problems, and with this one it says dead players will go to the Gulag until the final 3 circles, but there will be no buybacks in this. So as it is right now, the Gulag already lasts until basically the final 3 circles. So I'm assuming this means if you lose your Gulag, you can continue going through the Gulag until you win and end up respawning. Although I'm not 100% sure on that. Either way, it looks like there's going to be plenty of opportunity for people to get back in the game by winning a Gulag. Now maybe I'm just misinterpreting that, but overall I'm not sure I really like the sounds of that. I don't know if that's something I would really be interested in playing at all. But this brings us to the next one. This one is called BYOL, or Bring Your Own Loadout. And with this one, you're going to be able to start with your loadout right from the beginning when you hop out of the plane, just like you can in Plunder, for instance. And this is something I already know I'm probably not going to be interested in. I think it's just a little much to be having full loadouts right from the beginning, but who knows, maybe some people will enjoy this. After that, we've got a mode called Non-Stop, and with this one, the gas will always be closing throughout the entire match. So presumably it will start pretty far away, and it will probably be moving at a relatively slow pace, but it will constantly move in throughout the game. And I believe there was a mode really similar to this in Blackout, or basically exactly the same as this in Blackout. And as long as the gas is moving slow enough that you can outrun it on foot, I really like the idea of this mode. It just keeps things moving constantly. There's never really any downtime. You're always working on moving yourself for positioning. Moving on to the next one, I love the name of this one. It's just called Pew Pew, and with this one, the description says it's high damage pistols and explosive physics. So for this one, I'm basically just picturing pistols with explosive rounds. So there's going to be a lot of ragdoll effects going on and some really high damage pistols. But that's just my interpretation of this. Maybe it will be something a little bit different. But for this one, in either case, it really seems like it would be a super gimmicky sort of featured mode for Warzone, which I don't mind. I don't mind having those really weird and out there sort of modes every now and then as a featured mode. Next, we have one called Run Like Hell, and with this one, the circle is going to be faster than a running player. So I assume with this one then, it's not going to be like non-stop where the gas doesn't stop moving. I think there will still be breaks in between circle movements. It's just the movements of the circle themselves will be really, really fast. And that one could be interesting. It will really punish people that aren't seeing the big picture and planning ahead and making sure they have good positioning in between those circle movements. And also it seems like vehicles will play a very big role within that mode. But after that, we've got one called Bottom Line, and with this one, when a player dies, they will drop back into the fight as long as they had enough cash in their inventory when they died. And with this, that will replace the Gulag, so there will be no Gulag in this one. And I assume this would make more sense for a solo mode. And I actually don't mind the sounds of that. You just have to make sure you have a certain amount of cash in your inventory, and then if you die, you're able to come back into the fight. Next up is a mode that I know is going to be very popular with a certain group of people. This is Realism Mode. And with this, it sounds like it's just going to have the Realism rule set, or at least a variation of that, with almost no heads-up display, if any heads-up display whatsoever. And also very likely heavily boosted headshot damage. So I don't know how armor would play into this, where it wouldn't necessarily always be a one-shot kill to the head with any gun. maybe it would be 2 shots if they've got armor on or something. But in either case, this one looks like it would be a very immersive sort of Battle Royale experience. Also, it would likely play very, very slow compared to the standard Battle Royale, so it's probably not going to be the mode for me, but I do know that there is a group of people that loves that immersion and that more realistic feel where you could die instantly at any moment. So up until this point with these modes, these are all the modes that have had descriptions attached to them within the code. From here on out, we just have the names of a few other modes, but they don't come with any descriptions, so we're kind of left to speculate as to how they would actually play out just based on their names. But the next one is called Infinite Gulag, and I'm not too sure how this one's going to work out, because if it is truly infinite right up until the end of the game, then people are just going to be dropping in from the sky constantly throughout a match, and I don't know how you would ever end up eliminating a squad if they can just continue going to the Gulag over and over again. So I'm sure there's more to it than that, and I'm just missing something there. But after that, we have one called Most Wanted, which perhaps has something to do with the Most Wanted contract. Although it does kind of seem like maybe there would be a bounty that's placed on a squad or a player where the entire map is going to be hunting them, but they get some sort of a bonus. Maybe they get like a Juggernaut suit or something. I don't know. But it would have to be balanced out in some way, I'm sure. Then we have a mode called One Shot, and with this one, I think it could mean one of two things. First up, it could be basically hardcore mode, where it just takes one shot to kill on anybody with any gun. Or perhaps it's going to be a true sniper playlist, or maybe even snipers and shotguns playlist. We have had the scopes and scatterguns playlist, which was sniper rifles and shotguns. However, that also included marksman rifles, so there was lots of EBRs and stuff out there, which I felt kind of took away from the whole idea of that mode. I thought it would be all about going around and having big sniper battles at longer ranges, but it turned out most people just picked up an EBR and went crazy with a semi-auto, spamming it at mid-range. So that one really could go either way. If I had to guess, though, it's more likely like a hardcore style mode where you'll die in just like 1 to 2 bullets. But next up on the list, we have one called Stimulus, and with this one, I assume there's going to be boosted cash, like there's going to be way more cash on the map, so you can go crazy buying all sorts of stuff and not really having to budget your money too wisely. And then finally, there's one last mode that was leaked here, and this one is called Inflation Redeployment. And with this, if I had to guess, I would say that buying back teammates throughout a match is going to cost more and more, either as the match goes on, like just as you get to the next circle, with every circle, the prices for a buyback will increase, or maybe it's every time you buy back a teammate, the next time you're going to have to buy someone back, it's going to cost you more. That's actually something that I thought of as an idea for the regular modes that I feel could balance buybacks a little bit, but now that they've adjusted how much money you can get and everything, and they've really toned that down, I'm not too sure if that would work out too well in the regular modes, but as a featured mode, perhaps that could play out well. But with that, those are all of the modes that were leaked with this most recent update. However, there were also a few other things, like an animation for the bunkers opening around the map. It seems like they are going to be adding functionality for that at some point in the future, maybe for Season 4. Where we will actually be able to access those bunkers throughout the map, and who knows what will be in there. Really high tier loot, I would assume, but we really don't know. And also something really interesting that just came up today, or at least this is the first time I've seen it. In an interview, the devs confirmed that they will continue to add support for the next generation of consoles. So the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, they will be continuing support for Warzone, and that seems to support the theory that Warzone is going to be the multi-year Battle Royale game for Call of Duty. And COD 2020, coming from Treyarch this year, isn't going to have its own Battle Royale game. Instead, Warzone is just going to be that Call of Duty Battle Royale. And I really hope this is going to be the case. I think that's the right way to do things. Have it as a free-to-play game like they have it right now, and just continue supporting it throughout the years. Continue adding maps and guns and skins, and basically just treat it like it's its own game, and then they can have certain tie-ins with the current Call of Duty, whatever that is going to be. So just as an example, if this year's upcoming Call of Duty from Treyarch does turn out to be Call of Duty Vietnam, then they could have a brand new map added to Warzone that's set in Vietnam, and then we have all of the guns and the skins and stuff that will launch with that game. It's already been confirmed that this same engine will be used going forward for future Call of Duty games, so I feel like if they've planned for that, it wouldn't be a ridiculous undertaking for them to do something like that within Warzone. But who knows, maybe that's just wishful thinking on my part. Of course, I'd like to know in the comment section below. First up, what are you guys thinking about all of these leaked modes that are in the game? Are there some that really caught your eye that you're looking forward to, and others that you're maybe not really a fan of based on how they sound? And also, what would you think about the idea of having Warzone as the Call of Duty Battle Royale game going forward, where they just keep it updated with new maps and modes to tie in with the current Call of Duty game? Just let me know those thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.